Hello, everybody. My name is Adewale. Welcome to the show, Politics and Policy. Today we are discussing about, oh my God, um, okay. Hello, sorry, we are having network issue. 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 Welcome to the show. We are talking on politics and policy. This is a show called Politics and Policy of our nation. Uh, the topic before us today is why will masses vote for um, Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Why will masses vote for Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Why will masses vote for Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Afolayan, are you hearing me? Yeah, I think I can bring you live. I want to bring you live. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Okay. 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 Thank you for coming. Welcome to the show. My name is Adewale. Uh, bro, how are you? Hello, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you? How is your day?
Very well. Happy Sunday.
Same to you. Um, I want to. Prince sent me a message some minutes ago. The second speaker. He called me. He called me
Okay.
yesterday. He sent me some message some minutes ago that there is an important meeting now that he's doing in Apple Legislators Quarter. Therefore, he cannot meet up, but he's looking towards for maybe on Tuesday. Anyhow, it's going to be. And he sent me the message with a very sincere apology. Although I'm expecting him because I have a lot of questions for him. I have a lot of questions for him. Are you hearing me very well? Can you hear me? Hello, are you there?
Okay.
Hello,
Can
are you
you
there?
repeat yourself again, please? The network is
Okay, thank you.
cracking.
Okay, thank you very much. The second speaker that both of you supposed to work together tonight send me a apology message that he cannot meet up. We have been speaking together. He called me several some days in last week. He said that there is an emergency meeting for him in Apple Legislative Quarter. Therefore, he cannot meet up. Therefore, only you that will, although I've set a lot
Okay.
of questions for him. I've set a lot of questions for him, but I will still direct the question to you. Number one, in your open speech, can you introduce yourself to the public and to our people that are listening to us that are following us now?
Can you hear me?
Okay, I said, can you introduce yourself to the people can you introduce yourself?
Okay. I can't hear you very well. The network is actually terrible today in my location. But from what I can just hear, you said I should introduce myself. Okay, so my name is Akinshola Olufemi, and I am the National Secretary of Asiwaju Progressive Network, aka APN, and then we are in support of no other person that the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, by the special grace of God, in person of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he can write it down, write today's day down, is the next president. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You're welcome to the show. You have this confidence. You and Prince. You always have this confidence whenever we are talking together in one way or the other. Whenever we are talking together in one way or the other, there is this confidence that inshallah, Asiwaju will be the next president. We will see when the game starts.
Definitely.
My question, what is the problem then? What happened to your candidate that is not in peace accord? That did not come and sign the peace accord. What happened?
Yeah, the truth of the matter is that, as we all know, our leader is a chief strategist. And then it's not compulsory, he must be the one to sign the peace accord. The vice presidential candidate is also available and is his running mate, so he was around to do the signing. We are putting a whole lot of things in place. You will notice that immediately after the primary, after Asiwaju Bola Ahmed won the primary, he has been around. He has been moving from coast to coast, consulting different stakeholders so that he can preach his own idea to them. And then while he was doing that, other candidates were traveling to Egypt. Some of them went to learn about transformer. Some of them that have not had that, okay, Nigeria has actually partnered with Siemens. They were moving up and down. And some people were going to Dubai. They went to their second home in Dubai to also have strategic meetings. So this is the time Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu also has to quickly go for his own strategic meeting, because it is very, very important for him to do that. So that is why he's not available. So there is no cause for alarm. Like we always tell the people, love for Kobale. There is no cause for alarm. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is in, is adding, and he can take this information to the bank. It's very fine.
Somebody is talking. Somebody sent a message from among the viewer. Afolayan Kehinde 29. He said, why must it be running mates, sir, when other candidates were present? Why must it? So we are having a rumor that he's sick, and are we going to be? Can we avoid to have another? Nigeria is in a big state now. Do we need to have a person that is not too physically fit for the race of the presidential election?
Let me tell you something. We are all humans. I want to address this from the last question you raised, because the question you just raised now is two questions in one. Personally, as I am, I just finished my medication, despite the fact that I work a little compared to what Asiwaju Bola Ahmed worked. I just finished my medication. This body needs rest. You understand? No matter how you stress yourself or you believe that you are this or that, you will definitely break down. So, but that is not even the case as far as our own presidential candidate is concerned. He is not sick. He is ill and healthy. Like I said, he's only going for a strategic discussion. He went for a strategic discussion and he'll be back very soon. So there's no cause for alarm. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed is not sick. He is fine. He is ill and healthy. And when he comes back, you are going to see it. Like most of you were saying, Buhari is sick, Buhari is this. Buhari is not sick, as you can see. Even though he was down for some few months, but he bounced back. You understand? So let's kill that notion that our candidate is sick. He's not sick. He's mentally strong and is ill and healthy.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
The next question I want to ask you. There is a lot of rumor going on in APC. Like some people are saying that some set of people hijack the party. Are you sure that the House, APC themselves, they are in order to win the election and to run as a team?
APC is intact, APC is perfect, and APC is the party to beat. As far as politics is concerned, there's always what we call disagreement. And then when there is disagreement, you should know that people are actually protecting their interests. If you know that your interest is not protected, you quickly voice out so that they can actually address your issue. So it is possible for us to have disagreements, but that does not mean that APC is in disarray. In fact, as we speak today, the most formidable party in Nigeria, the most formidable party in West Africa, and the most formidable party in the whole of Africa is APC. So APC is intact, APC is perfect. There's no cause for alarm.
Okay, thank you very much. What can you even said? APC is the ruling party. As 2015, before the election, a bag of, are you hearing me?
I'm with you.
As 2015, a bag of rice was 9,085, but now it's 30-something thousand naira. Diesel, I can't give the correct statistic, but I know that diesel at that time is not up to 900 naira. What can you say? The rate of inflation, despite that Nigeria have what to take to enjoy and to run with the top highest country, what can you say? Do you think that Nigeria deserve APC, the ruling party for now? Do you think that Nigeria still deserve another stage we are now? What do you say to that?
Okay, thank you very much. I would like to break this down, and I want you to understand this perfectly. As I'm speaking to you, I believe that President Muhammadu Buhari did his best. He's not 100% perfect, and he has not been able to achieve his goal 100% because of some of the challenges that we have experienced, and it's a global challenge. Now we are going to start from the issue of insecurity. When the president came into this country, in fact, most of the northern states that were into the production of rice, they were all ravaged by insecurity. But he came and was able to defeat them. In fact, we just celebrated our rice pyramid some few months back in the city of Abuja, where we have the first rice pyramid. You know, he has actually done his best to ensure and to give us full security. But in Abishu, let's start from other countries that you are comparing Nigeria with. That's okay, the rate of inflation in Nigeria is much. There's presently what we call global economic challenge. The challenge we have in 2015 is different from the challenge we are having right now in 2022. In 2015, the APC government made nothing. We made 0 naira in the purse. The past administration ran the country into debt. And then when the APC government came in, instead of President Buhari to say, okay, I want to start launching a new project, he said, no, let us start from where these people stop. Let us correct the mess. So he needed to pull down some things and to start building. I can categorically tell you today that President Buhari started building this country again from the scratch, because this country was totally collapsed. Economically, it was collapsed. Look at what Sanusi Lamido said in year 2015. Is in year 2014. He said the next administration that is going to collect power from the PDP is going to have problem, and that was the same thing we had. But we thank God that we have been able to build on the successes that we have recorded from 2015 to 2019, and from 2019 to now we have also recorded a lot of success, and that is why we are talking about rice pyramid. Fine, the price of rice then and now is different because of the global economic challenges. If you are traveling to UK now, the amount of school fees you pay them is different from the amount of school fees you pay now. If you are going to US, what you pay for food there is different from what you are paying now. So it is a global economic challenge. Every country in the world are actually experiencing inflation. As I am telling you now, of inflation is 2 year higher than what they have experienced before. They've never experienced this inflation in the past 42 years, the same as US. But you will not see them coming to the social media to abuse their country, because they were men and women of understanding. They don't play politics with everything. They show passion for the country and they show passion for the administration. So I want us to also show passion for this administration. Let us believe that this country will be better. President Muhammadu Buhari has actually done his best and is doing his best to make sure that Nigeria is better. And you are comparing Nigeria again with other countries of the world. Other countries of the world are struggling. UK is struggling. US is struggling. In fact, Russia, who happen to be part of the economic crisis that is going on in the world, is struggling. And don't even forget China too. They are also going through their own problems. So everybody and every country is experiencing a global economic challenge. And as I can say to you today, we are actually putting a whole lot of measures in place to protect this country from collapsing. If you check all the countries in Africa, Nigeria, as we speak today, we are the one that is still selling petrol at the cheapest rate. Our neighboring countries in Benin Republic, they are selling as high as 900 when you convert it to Nigerian naira. They are spending up to that. You talk about diesel. Diesel is now 700 and something naira. But why is it like that? We have removed subsidy. This administration has removed subsidy. And we are all clamoring that we should remove subsidy. By the time we remove subsidy, you are going to leave this country you are going to leave the petroleum sector into the hands of demand and supply. So it is based on the demand and supply that we are going to give our prices. There is not going to be benchmark. But as we speak, this administration is doing its best to cushion the effect, to ensure that this country is not grounded, to ensure that Nigerians don't suffer. That is why we are still paying subsidy. But by the time all the modular refineries we are working on start working, by the time the Dangote refinery starts working, we are going to see that we won't have to spend more on petroleum compared to what we are spending now at the moment.
Okay. Oh, you said all this analysis, but can you recall in 2015, President Muhammadu Buhari, among his campaign, he said he would put an end to insecurity. If you want to ask yourself to the conscience of to your God, to your conscience, what is the score mark of insecurity now and insecurity before?
As we speak today, I can categorically tell you today, as I'm speaking now and now, not talking of what happened last year or what is going to happen tomorrow, I will tell you that Nigeria is 90% safe. Now, I'm going to give you some instances. I don't talk out of point and I won't talk out of a reference. I'm going to make references to some peculiar things that we need to take note of. Now, when President Buhari came into power, we have a lot of states that were being rampaged by Boko Haram. But presently, as you are talking, there is no state in which you are going to go today that you will see that Boko Haram have hoisted their flag. Every state in this country, as we speak today, are all sovereign states under Nigeria. No state is under the administration of Boko Haram. Take note of that. Now, when this administration started, there were a lot of prospects. Fine. But unfortunately, we met some challenges. Fine. When you meet challenges in life, what you are meant to do is to do what? Is to face the challenge and solve it. Fine. The issue of banditry started. And holistically, the president did everything within his power to ensure that the issue is totally brought to an end. And I'm going to say this, and I'm saying this on social media, and I can be quoted anywhere. This banditry we are talking about, they are being sponsored by some certain set of people. A lot of information has been revealed to see that they are actually being sponsored by external forces. Look at what just happened some few weeks ago. The DSS busted someone who happened to be the negotiator for the bandits. He was going to another country, but thank God for the Interpol, he was intercepted in Egypt and he has been brought back to Nigeria. The revelation we have seen from the investigation is mind-boggling. The truth of this matter is that some of us don't want to see Nigeria succeed. And inshallah, by the special grace of God, Nigeria will succeed. Because the more we are trying to make sure this Nigeria becomes better, the more we see some saboteurs who are being sponsored by external forces. I don't want to mention countries because our investigation is still going on. Let me tell you today, I am being privileged to some credible information, and I can tell you that there are saboteurs, there are sponsors that are sponsoring all this banditry just to make sure that President Muhammadu Buhari does not succeed. But they have already failed because their secrets have been exposed, and by God's grace, we are seeing an end to this insecurity. Recently, you have seen that Nigeria has recorded a lot of successes when it comes to the banditry. Our Super Tucano has arrived, and we are serving them breakfast. We are flying them from fire to fire. And unfortunately, our social media and our big media, they are not publicizing this administration. That is for you to see that even our media, we are not praying for this country to succeed. All we are after is to hear evil news here and there. If you hear of one attack, hey, that somebody was shot in far village in Benin, Gwari, they will post it. But when they hear that Nigerian army have recorded a lot of success, they will not share it. This is so unfortunate. So I want us to be very objective in our administration and in our publicity. When we are telling the public, okay, that there is a problem here, we should also tell them the solution. And that is why we are here, to try and paint the true picture. No country in this world does not have any issues. The US, they also have their own issues. You hear students go to school and they be shot in school. We've recorded a lot of mass shooting in US. In fact, in UK, there was mass shooting, but you never see them in their country cry that they are not secure. All you have to do when you are faced with challenge is to do what? Is to tackle it. By God's grace, Nigeria will be free from every form of insecurity. But let me say this to every Nigerian, to those who love Nigeria, please, when you see anything that is not working well, when you hear any information against our insecurity, please report it to the appropriate authority. President Buhari is not sleeping. He loves this country and he's doing the best to get the best out of this country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's like the people know my mind. The next question I want to ask you. In 2015, we have small light issue, therefore I'm using only my camera light. I will have read the debts, the rate of Nigerian debts. Now, it's nothing to run about. It's like multiplying by 2. And it's 2 questions I want to ask you. Education is one of the priority in this nation, but what is this sitting president government administration doing about education? Is that one even giving them a score mark? This one is like telling us that they are not capable, they are not ready to do the work as supposed to be. In the history of democracy, I'm not sure, maybe in early of the leader, there is an ASUU strike that is up to 8 months. I'm not sure. I know that during the military era, there is a strike that is more than, that is close to 8 months. But now, it's like all of them are just keeping quiet. Is that one going to allow us also to still vote for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu? This is his party. And Asiwaju, the person that is running for the president, he has not said any single word to condemn the long extension of ASUU strike. What do you see to that? The debt and ASUU strike. What do you see to that?
Okay. I'm trying to actually pick a whole lot. But if you permit me, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, go ahead.
If you permit me, let me just try and pick the question because the line was breaking. So you are talking about ASUU strike. I believe that was what you said. Okay,
yes,
fine.
And your presidential candidate has not, for once, rebuked the ASUU strike and tell the federal government and even move, maybe by one means, to see the labor to negotiate work.
Okay, now.
Is he ready for the job?
See, he's 100% ready for the job. Now, let me point this to you. Right from onset, right from 1999 to this present administration, ASU have always been known to go for strike. As a matter of fact, there was a lot of agreements that have been entered with ASU, and the current agreement now was entered into in 2009 by the then PDP administration. But unfortunately, they made them promises that they couldn't fulfill. And at this point, the APC president, which is President Muhammadu Buhari, when he came into power, they went on strike. And for the sake of the clamor of Nigeria, he said, okay, no problem. I was going to fulfill these demands. But the truth of the matter is that if you actually love this country is all about give and take. They've brought their issues to the table. You don't want to be paid under the system in which other federal government staff are being paid. IPPS said, now if you don't want to be paid through that means, okay, the federal government gave them the option of developing their own payment administration, which was UTAS, and that was created about a year ago. It has been subjected to different tests and it is perfect. Fine, we are going to pay this. But having said that, the government has shifted its own ground that, okay, we'll be paying you through UTAS. But you have to also do what? You have to also shift your ground. The truth of the matter is that you cannot eat your cake and have it. This administration has actually given ASU the privilege and a long rope. Okay, do this. By God's grace, I am an employer of labor, and no staff can tell me that I must pay you so amount. If I have the capacity to pay you, I will pay you. If I don't have the capacity, I will tell you that I can't afford this. What you can do is to either quit the job and look for a better paying job. We all know the level in which this country is. Now they said they want the salary of lecturers to be increased. Fine, we said we are going to increase their salary. They said they want their salary to be increased by over 100%, and that is not possible. It should be a gradual process. We should understand that the problem of ASU is not with the government, but it is with the demand of ASU. Their demand is outrageous. And don't forget, ASU is not only the institution we have. They are just for the universities. We have the polytechnics. We have the senior teaching staff. We have the SANU. We have the non-teaching staff. The NASU, they are there. And by the time all of them start making the demands, where do you expect this country to profile and to provide this money from? Where do you expect it? So ASU as it is now, they are not trying to reason. As a matter of fact, the president have done everything to please ASU. But ASU, in his own selfishness and self-centeredness, have decided they were not going to call off the strike. Recently, the federal government took them to court and they said they were going to appeal it. They went to appeal it. President Buhari, because he's a loving president, he's a father of the nation, he's a father of youth. He had initially wanted to use his veto power to tell them that all the councillors must instruct, all the VC must instruct their lecturers to resume. But he also said, okay, no problem. Let me still give them room for negotiation. And everything this president is doing now, I can assure you now that going forward, after a concrete solution is reached, ASU will never go on strike again. Because our incoming president is a man that has put an end to all the menace of ASU. Look at Lagos State University. They are not on strike. They don't know what it means to go on strike. If you have anybody that is in Lagos State University, ASU, you can call them to ask. And funny enough, other institutions have started pulling out of ASU because they have seen that ASU is now being political. They are trying to paint this administration bad, that this administration is bad. That is why they are still insisting on going on strike. And finally, I have to put it on record that this is not the longest strike that has ever been recorded in Nigeria. I will tell you today that before this administration, ASU have gone on strike for 13 good months. ASU have gone on strike under PDP for what? For 13 good months. So it is a menace that has been happening, and by the special grace of God, this administration is going to put this menace to an end. And by God's grace, we are not going to experience anything such as ASUU strike again. Inshallah.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll go and make my research and get back to you very well.
No
Maybe
problem.
ASUU has been on strike under which president?
I can't really remember the president. Like you said, you want to go and do your research. Go and do your research. And before the end of this show, I will try and provide the answer to you. I'll give you the answer under the administration.
Okay, thank you very well. Okay, the next question. During this day, you are talking about inflation in some country, in different country. Thank you very much. Do you know that we are among the country that produce crude in the world? Is Saudi Arabia experiencing this kind of inflation? The President Muhammad Buhari promised us about how dollar will come down. I don't want to raise a figure, but he said it by himself that if you resume in office, dollar will go down to so amount. But now, what is dollar all about? Apart from that, the president is trying to, the sitting president, there are some wrongdoing that is going on about corruption, granting a negotiation for corrupt leaders that they should give them say on bargain, something bargain, any bargain. But this incoming president, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has not rebooked any wrongdoing of his party. Therefore, he has been keeping quiet. But now, when the election is coming, he's coming out to tell the masses to vote for him. What do you say to that?
Wow, you have actually asked about 4 questions in all. So you are going to permit me to actually about Saudi Arabia, that they are also an oil producing country. Yeah, they are also an oil producing country. And then I will say to you that Saudi Arabia presently, they have also experienced an inflation by 2.8%, experienced that same inflation. See, this thing is not rocket science.
No, wait. Sorry for cutting you short. If you tell me that Saudi Arabia is also experiencing inflation, the rate of migration in Nigeria, can you compare it to Saudi Arabia?
You can't compare the inflation rates in Saudi Arabia with the inflation rates in Nigeria. Same also, we can't compare the inflation rates in Nigeria to other African countries. There are a lot of factors that add up to this, and a lot of things causes increase in inflation. By God's grace, when we are talking about inflation is calculated on this inflation. Okay, what is the rate at which the food prices are increasing? We look at other sets of inflation. So those are the things that contribute in aggregate to give us the holistic view of what an inflation of a country is all about. And as a matter of fact, there are some sectors in this country that are not experiencing inflation, but some sectors are actually the ones contributing to the major fact that we are having an increase and an upward movement in our inflation. Now, let me give you an instance. Nigeria was struck with COVID in the year 2020. Same also outside Arabia. They were also struck because of what? Because of this same COVID. And then, as you can see today, they are also recovering from the problem they went through because of COVID. They are trying to recover. They are in a recovery mode, and they are still Saudi Arabia. Nigeria in its own was a country that was nearly collapsing, and this administration came in to start working on the challenge. Then it was hit by COVID. COVID came to scatter all the plan. How did we survive in COVID? Most of us don't know. We spent billions of naira bringing drugs, bringing a lot of things for us to ensure that this country is safe. In fact, as a matter of fact, we increased the allowances of our health workers. A lot of money was expended, and Nigeria lost billions of money. We could not export. So Saudi Arabia also experienced it. So automatically, what will that give to you? Is inflation. So there's no country in the world, I'm saying it again, no country on this planet Earth that didn't go through that. In fact, Japan almost collapsed. Japan, who happened to be one of the strongest countries in the world, they also experienced inflation. So I believe we have been able to put down that Saudi Arabia also do what? They also have their own inflation, but their challenges is not as enormous as Nigeria's challenges, and by God's grace we are going to overcome it. And the second question you raised was concerning our presidential candidates. He said, can you repeat the question, that is not criticizing the APC party for what? I can't hear you. No voice.
Sorry, I mute myself before. Can you hear me now?
Okay, I can hear you now.
There are some wrongdoing of the ruling party. Number one, they are saying that they are going to fight corruption. But somebody that was jailed under this administrative, a governor that was, somebody that was jailed under this administrative, he was given a presidential pardon that he has not even completed. Are you telling me that the incoming president from your party, is he not seeing it? Is he not seeing it? Is he giving the party a score mark?
Okay, let me put it to you now. There's what we call plea bargain. You understand? And I'm very sure you know what plea bargain is. In fact, you've always mentioned it in some of our personal conversations. Now, somebody stole 20 billion and then he pleaded not guilty in arbitration that, okay, he didn't steal this money. After some time, he was jailed, and during his jail sentence, he came out plain that, okay, I'm very, very sorry. I am returning all the money I have stolen back to you. He returned them. And it is a normal thing in the world, in any area, any part of the world, to have a presidential plea bargain. Already, in case you might not know, there's already an agreement that is already reached. In fact, a written agreement that was reached before there can be a presidential pardon. You have returned the money, you have shown remorse, and then you have made a promise and an agreement that you are not going to do it again. As a matter of fact, you have already been punished. You have already been punished. So what else again? What else again? So I feel that should not even be a problem. You know, it shouldn't be a problem. God forbid, if tomorrow I become the president and I was told that you stole a sum of 300 million, I will tell them to arrest you. And if you come to me and say, okay, I'm ready to return this money, I will say, no problem. Okay, are you sure you are not going to do it again? If you tell me yes, we enter an agreement. And if I feel like, if the majority of people feel like in supporting the motion, we can grant you a presidential pardon. So I don't think there's any wrongdoing there, provided you have made sure that this money is returned. In the past administration, they don't jail people. Nobody goes to jail. Recently, somebody that was appointed under this administration was caught that, okay, he stole 80 billion. He was arrested by our administration. Now, when we are talking that or saying that we are going to fight corruption, it starts from us. As I am talking right now, I don't know what is going on in my office. I'm just using my office as an instance. Let's assume that somebody in my office now sneak to the office and is doing a job for a client that I'm not aware of, how will I know? How would I know? That is a simple way of seeing a corrupt person. You will not know, but there is a mechanism I have decided to put in place, and there's another mechanism I may decide to put in place to check that, and that is what this administration is doing. As a matter of fact, the major people that are corrupt in this country, they are the civil servants. They are the what? They are the civil servants. We cannot sack all the civil servants and tell them that no, go to your house, let's employ a new set of civil servants. It's not possible. In fact, you see children of 5 years, they are already corrupt. You send them message, they will keep the money. Where is the change? They will say, sorry, it fell off, whereas they use it to buy something else. I've seen cases like that. So corruption is an epidemic that has eaten up this country. And it starts with us, with myself and you, to look at it in the face and to say that no, enough is enough. Most of the civil servants, or most of the corruption allegation we are seeing now, all the civil servants, the directors, the secretaries, the PAMSEC, they are all involved in this scandal. Okay, for a old auditor general of the federation to go with 80 billion naira, do you think he did that alone? He didn't do that alone. The PAMSEC were involved, the director were involved. He does not have power to do all the signing. They were also involved. And then now, the only thing we can do is to ensure that there is strict penalty. And that is what this administration is doing. You are corrupt, and we get to know that you are corrupt. You go down for it, you'll be punished. Compared to before, look at the past administration that have been ruling us for over 16 years. Look at the corruption scandal in their party. Imagine sharing money, the money that people contributed, that people paid to get a presidential nomination form, governorship nomination form, House of Assembly and senatorial nomination form. You can see they are sharing it. And then you can see that corruption did not start from this administration. They were the fathers. They were the fathers of corruption. And funny enough, all other presidential candidates, apart from our own presidential candidates, are all part and parcel. They are all part and parcel of that corrupt system. And by God's grace, corruption will not succeed in this country. I will fight it, and I want to encourage you to also fight it. Fighting of corruption starts from you. It starts in you. It starts with you. And we must join in this fight of corruption, because corruption is an epidemic. It has eaten this country to the very, very, very root. We only take the grace of God to fight this corruption. In fact, President Obasanjo said one day, he said, even though Jesus Christ becomes the president of this country, he cannot do what? He cannot fight corruption. But by God's grace, we will not say we are going to achieve it 100% because it is a big epidemic, but we are going to fight it to a point that is going to be minimal. And note this, there is no country in this world as we speak today that is not embattled with corruption. It is just that the past administration have made corruption a norm in this country. But by God's grace, we are putting an end to it, and we should be the one to start making this noise. And I'm going to put it out today. There are some parastatals in this country. I am a supporter of our presidential candidate, but we always say the truth where the truth needs to be spoken of. I can't hear you. Audio.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry, we lost you due to the network problem. We have like 2 minutes to round up now. Can you just give your advice within 1 minute and tell us, promote your presidential candidates within 1 minute?
Okay, now let me tell us something today. You know, as I'm speaking now, like I said, that I'm privileged to have some information. For those of us who can see it, let me show you this first. This is our presidential candidate. Is A and Adi. You can see he's doing exercise. Is A and Adi. You can see it. Our presidential candidate is fine. And then, having said that, you can see he's very strong. He has been through a lot of meetings just to ensure that it comes out in flying colors. And I will say this: I'm not bragging. You can take it to the bank. Go and take it to the bank, and I will be here, inshallah, after February 2023 to come and say that yes, we said it and it happened. President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a reality. And then a vote for President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a vote for growth, is a growth for development, is a growth for advancement, is a growth for security, is a growth for success. I can tell you today, you are going to enjoy the best of this country, because I'm calling me a president because it is already a reality in advance. You know, our president, who is to be, inshallah, in person of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is going to turn this country around. Fine. Most people have been asking me question that President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, our presidential candidate, enslaved Lagos, is the this, is the that, is the this, is the that. And I keep on telling them, it is not a matter of enslaving. It's just that some people will just believe that, okay, is it the only one? In my own field, in my own area of printing, there are a lot of people that are envying me. It is possible for people to be envious of you when they see you succeeding. They will not be like, is it the only one? Only God knows what he's doing. So there will be a lot of allegation. But I want you to understand something today, that is the best and the best and the best. And when it comes about pedigree, is the best. When it comes about antecedent, is the best. I've not seen any presidential candidate, both those that are contesting now or those that will contest tomorrow, that can match his record. In our previous discussion, I have laid out his record, and then we can see that he is the best so far. He's a man that will give us a master plan to run with. I said something. President Muhammadu Buhari came, and what he just did is to lay foundation of a new Nigeria. And we are seeing that manifesting in some sector. As I'm speaking presently, the issue of electricity problem is gradually coming to an end. Some of us have been seeing it on our social media. In Osun State, the cement have just brought their transformer there. In Lagos State, their transformer has arrived. You know, we are increasing capacity to supply. Now, what this administration is doing now is to lay the foundation. Presidential candidate emerges, what is going to do is to build on it, to solidify it. And by the time it's solidified,
Sorry, the network is
was the best. Is coming to make Nigeria a better place. Lagos State happens to be one of the worst states, but presently is a state that accommodates both those who don't love Nigeria and those who love Nigeria. Those who burn down Lagos State because they hated Lagos State, they are also the one benefiting from Lagos State. And we will not allow them to burn down Nigeria, because we are going to make Nigeria better for them. We don't have any other country. Nigeria is the only country we have. So I want to encourage us to love Nigeria genuinely. Let us give the best to this country. The change you are talking about, the success of Nigeria, it starts with you, it starts with me. It starts with you by number one, not beating the traffic light. It starts with you by not breaking laws that have been set down. It starts with you by not dumping refuse on the streets of Abuja or on the streets of Lagos. It starts with you by not bypassing your electricity. The change starts with us. And when the changes start with us, it's going to reflect in every area of our life. And I want to say this for those who are having a doubt on our presidential candidates. Let me clear your doubt today. He is the best out of the best. A lot of us have a sentiment that is very old, he will die, he will this, he will do that. There's nobody in this world that will not die. As I am talking today, God forbid, I may die tomorrow. Only God knows when we are going to die. So I want us to put that notion and put it aside. Let us keep the notion. Our presidential candidate will not die. He is going to live and is going to give the best to this country. And also for those who are claiming that he's going to be a figurehead president, he is never going to be a figurehead president. He's going to give his best. He is cerebral, he is smart, he is intelligent. He is the best of the best of the best. Age is not a barrier. We are going to enjoy this admission. Thank you very much, and I pray that God will bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And I will pray once again that Nigeria shall succeed in our lifetime. In Jesus' name. Thank you so much for having me on this program. I count it as a privilege. I love you, and I love every of our viewers. Let us take this gospel everywhere. I am not only preaching our candidates, but we are preaching that will become the change we are praying for, and preaching that will become the best in ensuring that this Nigeria becomes a better place for our country. Let us become a good follower today so that our leaders too can become a good leader. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my brother. It is good to have you on the show. I am very grateful for you coming every day, anytime we need you. Thank you. God bless you. God bless every of our viewers.
Amen.
God bless you. House planned, everybody that has comments. I saw your comments. Personally, I will send the data to you, and I want you later, we'll still talk on it. You and Prince will come and give us your forecast, how your presidential candidates will win the election. Thank you. I still remain. By tomorrow morning, 8:30, we are going to have another show, which is about destiny. Is about discovering the purpose, discovering your purpose with Pastor Pius. Good. We are going to have with Pastor Pius, and as time goes on, you'll still be seeing us on Twitter. We are coming up with a very big topic on Twitter. God bless us. God bless our Nigeria. Please be a good person. Let us pray for our nation. We don't have a place like this in this country. We don't have another home like this country. We are going to build it together. Please vote right. Do not sell your votes. Do not do any violence during the election and after the election. Let us follow the game according to the rule. By this time, I'm also advising all of our political actors, please do not send any violent word or foul word to anybody. And this page, we do not promote any violent talk, any violent word. Thank you very much, Ms. Oga. I greet you again in advance. Happy birthday.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
God
Thank you,
bless
sir.
you. God bless our nation.
Amen.
Bye.